I would like to thank the grace of heaven and virtue of holy teacher and kindness of grand predecessor and the predecessor. And transmitters and all of you give me the chance to share the story of a 会员大帅, General 会员. Right. He was served in the army, and he met our 大德真君, predecessor. Yeah. In the park, and they talk because he was from, they all from mainland China, so after they talk, they're in the same tune. So 大德真君 knows he's such a good guy, so he brought him to the temple and received that. So this General 会员大帅, okay? So then our predecessor reported to our grand predecessor, says he's such a good guy, so he wanted him to meet him. So the day when our 白水圣地 went to see him, they were in the south of Taiwan. And he did not know grand predecessor is going to meet him. So he was so busy in the kitchen. Doing what? Cooking. Not vegetarian food. He loved to eat the beef stew. Okay? You know, at the time we did not have the gas, the stove like this. He was busy with to make the fire in the coat, and the whole face was so red because he was so busy with roasting and cook the beef stew. Okay, and he loved to drink wine and smoke. So when grand predecessor came to see him, he was so unhappy. Okay, so he gave him a lesson. Okay, he said, how do you save everybody if you cannot get rid of those things, right? So he talked to him, and he realized it's so hard for him to get rid of those things. The lifetime, that's his favorite, okay? But he tried so hard to get rid of the beef and smoke and the wine, right? That's not very easy. And again, so he served in the army, so he has the salary in the house for his family from government. But that time in Taiwan, because they don't like, it's very hard to spread it out because government don't want the group people together. But after World War II, they withdraw the whole trip to Taiwan, so they don't want the people get together against them.
Assembly.
Yeah. So the time in the temple is kind of hard, and then somebody reported say he joined the temple. Okay, so especially he served for the government, so they want him to either stay with them, but totally away from Tao. Okay, say I have no any relationship with Tao. In that time, it's very tough for him because his boss like him so much. They know he's a great guy. So the principal says, "We really like you to stay. So could you get rid of your other?" Yeah. So he think over. He say, "No, I would rather lose my job, lose my title, lose my income. But I know Tao is so good. I'm not going to escape from that. No." So then he lost his house, his salary. That time, everybody had a hardship in Taiwan because after World War II, everything started over. When we were kids, the life was not that kind of easy. Okay, so it's really hard for him because again, he does not know how to speak Taiwanese. So for him to look for a job, it's hard. Okay, so but he told his wife, we're not going to starve to days, right? We're not going to die because we don't have food, we don't have a job. So he insists he wants to spread the doubt and save people. So he got fired from the army. So see, if that is us, what are we going to do? So that's the way heaven evaluates us. That moment's hardship. What do we want to do? I think he passed, but it's very hard for him. So his financially, as he went to hardship. The whole family and the kids, very hard to make a living over there. So he started to, people teach him how to make, how do you say 豆瓣酱? Bean paste.
Or preserve.
Look like
bean paste. Oh, he bought it. She bought it. She purposely went to buy this.
Yeah.
That's all.
right? And usually
That's the label.
when you put
The brand.
when you put those vegetables there, it takes like a month. Okay, you have to put the salt and take 3 months to make those paste. But because he had a hardship and he worked for heavens and worked for everybody, a lot of people to receive that time is really, really hard. And his staff only 3 days. People had the willing to buy it, but he said, no, it's not time yet. Don't buy it. And they say, I don't care, your stuff is so good. So here comes so many people. It's not 3 months, it's gone. So that's why they can survive, okay? But because he is such dedicated to Tao, even because of it's like a blacklist in the government, all right? When you join that time. And his daughter, in the school, they did not treat her very well. Because her father, such a bad man. And the daughter passed the exam of a government like post office. She's supposed to get a good job, a good salary, a good life. But government turned her down. He was the top list, passed the exam. It's very hard to get the government job that time when she grew up. But then she was not able to work. She got a job, the hard job, but hard to get job. But they don't want her. The government said no. Since your family has a bad history, so she lost the job. But they still insist they are not going to give up of Tao because their sincerity. So the daughter, after a few months, got even better job, even better salary. Yeah, I have to check. They mention they did not mention that clearly. We can check that. Okay. So she got. It's the same thing. I think Christine had a similar thing because when she graduated from Illinois University, she got a full-time job. It's hard right now. This is a crisis of USA. The new graduation, they cannot get a job, right? But she always the priority Tao is in her head because she was growing up from temple is heaven, right? So that time she was thinking about that, and then finally because our saints did talk to her a couple of times different and says temple need your help, okay? Sure, for everybody's help, but our holy teacher and Nada
Third
prince did talk to her. So I say, hey, if you don't come to temple, and how do you help anything? All right, she said she's going to open a temple over there. So it's such a good idea, right? But you got to need some foundation, right? You come to temple and you have some knowledge, and so you can, have a temple and help people, right? So she think over and over, and finally she decide turn down that job. It's a very hard decision for her. But later on, after 5 months is hard. 5 months. 5 months later, she finds a better job. Right? So when we have the willing if the priority is Tao first, sure, we will go through a lot of hardship, but at the end, it's sweet, higher pay, those things. And we're not going to go after that, but make living is important. Again, we come back to this, and later on, he had a big factory for this, and somebody used his name. It's called Gang Mountain, right? And it's so famous. My neighbor kids went to the army too. So she brought us back. She gave to my mama. Dongsan Dobanjia. Yes, he said it's very famous. But that time he had the name, but everybody tried to copy him. Everybody used the name. So then he decided, all right, fine, you guys use those names. I changed to Ming De, so totally different name. But again, people recognize his trademark. So people still, even now, everybody buy this. This for vegetarian, okay? So his business, Grand Predecessor's son even said, he has more than $1 billion business. Very successful. That time he went through a lot of hardship, but heaven returned him more and more. So his son is still running this business. His son is 80-something years old now. They are very successful. His whole family is very wealthy. Compared to before, a few years ago, terrible, right? And also, his wife supports him so much, and she got the position too, in the heaven, sense too. So, when we cultivate Tao, no matter what kind of hardship, yesterday I watched a video. Some people, when World War II, that time it's hard to spread the Tao in even China. Okay, so that they capture some of the Taoist members. In the government in China, they know they are vegetarian. For example, we are all there, and the government just put a lot of non-vegan food, beef, chicken, all kind, the whole table. So force them to eat. Eat. If you want to survive, then you eat. If not, I'm going to excuse you right away. And some of the Taoist members got scared, they eat. All right? But some of them insist they are not going to eat. And guess what happened? The gun go to the mouth, come out from the head. So it's brought up, and it looks scary. But, that moment, it looks scary, but our holy teacher, before he got suffered, already filling him up. The spirits already gone to the heaven already. So it's very important. I think this story, we have to remember, no matter what kind of hardship, don't change your mind. Don't get scared. Don't get scared with that start seeing, you go to like open up and it's breathing everywhere. We have to insist because the body is temporary, only the spirit is forever. So no matter what kind of hardship, a lot of people we can learn from, they all become saints. So tomorrow I'm going to start from tomorrow. We have to remember this story. Never change your mind. It must be some period of hardship after that will be great. And the destination is heaven, permanent heaven, not the temporary one. All right.
Yeah,
So
he also donate half of his, the profits that he made from that. Half of it always go to the temple. So he give half of his, revenue, whatever, to the temple. So
yeah, only a
very
few
temple.
years, $1 billion. That's amazing. It's not a heaven. All right. So yeah. So.
你对他是来就纪念日吗？
On Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Is it 圣诞？ Is it 圣诞城 On Thursday.
Friday 是大的老母大娘。And
Thursday. This coming Thursday. Yeah. Yeah.
24号
Yeah.
Is it the first? Is it first?
I'm not sure. Birthday. Yeah. 圣诞。
All right.
圣诞。
So if something I say incorrect, please correct me. Hope heaven forgive me.